When we go to the polls in November, the future of Iowa's water and land won't be on the ballot, at least directly. But there are many ways that the upcoming elections will determine the fate and future of how we deal with water and land issues in Iowa. This is Professor Neil Hamilton from the Drake University Agricultural Law Center with today's Our Water, Our Land. And the topic is thinking about how the upcoming elections may affect Iowa's land and water policy. Previous episodes have shared my view that issues relating to protecting Iowa's land and water aren't, or at least shouldn't be, partisan issues. The land and the water doesn't know or care whether the owner is a Republican, a Democrat, or a no-party voter. It just wants to have a brighter future. But there's also no doubt that these issues of land and water generate a wide array of viewpoints by politicians on all parts of the dial. This is why, if you care about Iowa's land and water, you need to think carefully about how the votes you make in November may affect the future of these issues. Well, there's no doubt that the most important race to be decided this fall will be the next governor of Iowa. The governor will play a key role in determining the future of our soil and water issues. Perhaps most importantly is the question of whether or not Iowa will raise the sales tax to fund the Natural Resources Trust Fund. This act would generate hundreds of millions of dollars for the state to address water quality, soil conservation, outdoor recreation, more hiking and biking trails, and the other things that Iowa voters have supported. How we answer this question of whether or not to raise the sales tax will be the most important signal in terms of whether Iowa is serious about dealing with water quality, soil conservation, and the future of our natural resources. Yes, it'll actually take a vote of the General Assembly to raise the sales tax, but the leadership and the position of the governor will be critical on this key issue. Our next governor will influence our natural resource future in many other ways. For example, budget proposals will determine if we increase funding for the popular REAP program relied on by local governments to fund parks, and if we add more bike trails and water trails. In recent years, funding for these popular programs has been slashed, even though applications and demand for local funding have continued to increase. The next governor will shape the face of our natural resource protection by deciding who heads the Department of Natural Resources and which fellow citizens serve on the Environmental Protection Commission. Voters will also select our next Secretary of Agriculture to lead the Iowa Department of Agriculture and Land Stewardship, which plays a frontline role in implementing our programs, particularly dealing with water quality issues from agriculture. Perhaps most importantly, Iowa voters will elect all of the members of the House of Representatives and half of the members of the Iowa Senate. These legislators have a front row seat and play a critical role in determining the laws and policies that shape our state's future. Even further down the ballot, there are other choices that voters get to make that have an impact on soil and water. You also get to decide who will be on the County Board of Supervisors, to make decisions such as whether or not a county will seek a local bonding issue to support natural resource protection, as voters have done in Johnson and Polk County. Voters even get to elect who will be on the Soil and Water Conservation District Commission, people who play an important but largely unheralded role in protecting our soil and water. You understand the point. Elections are important, and the decisions that you make will be critical to the future of our state. As you weigh your votes, think about how you can support what you want to see for Iowa's land and water. Regardless of what you decide, the important thing is to vote. Democracy works best when we all choose to participate. Well, this has been Professor Neil Hamilton from the Drake University Agricultural Law Center with today's Our Water, Our Land. I look forward to bringing you an episode after the election to talk about how our votes may have shaped the future of our state.